Alright, hi all. This is going to be a live commentary of my playthrough of Cosmogenesis Part 1. My UVMAX single segment successful attempt this time. So if you haven't watched the video, or if you actually just prefer to watch the video without my lovely voice, you can click over here at the info card. But if you do decide to stick around and watch this one, I'm going to basically be going through some of my strategies, my thought process to completing this map. Making a comparison between some of the high risk versus high safety types of strats. And just an all-in-all reaction to my own video here, so. Pretty sure I had some bonehead moments in this demo. Also think I had some pretty impressive ones too, so we'll see. Okay, so early part of the fight, you're just waiting for this wall to come down. A minute 32 is pretty consistent. Somewhere in there, 132, 135. Trying to clear up as many of those Hell Knights in there. You'll always get a few that are kind of trapped. So it's important to hug this arena wall. Even better if you can get up there next to the cybers. That'll file them all out as well. Guess you could technically BFG through them all, but there's quite a bit. There's 20 damaging floor in there as well, so that makes it a little bit more challenging to accomplish, but that would be if the run was focused on getting the best time. Which this run is not, and you'll see that clearly throughout the map. Just maximizing infighting there with cybers. Still a lot of Hell Knights trapped in there. Can get some rockets sent their way though. Some nice gifts from the cybers. And there we go. Like I said, this is kind of the best position to get the Hell Knights to file out. You might have one or two left in there. And time to go. Yeah, literally two. Do have to watch out for the cyber rockets, though. Sometimes they do target you. Okay, important there, don't pre-fire until you're out of the cave. Not sure what hit me there. Again, kind of taking my sweet time here. Should have been really more aggressive, I think. There's plenty of cells around. Don't know why I'm trying to exactly preserve. Just a habit, I guess. Yeah, so another attempt, I would certainly expedite the earlier fights, especially. Should be as aggressive as you can. We're only 5 minutes in. And it's pretty much a 2-hour Well, in my case, it was a 2-hour run. I think the record's around 130, 140, so that kind of shows how much room for improvement I have. If I ever decide to do this again. I was just happy to finish it. Yeah, so I think especially one factor that why I was not really taking much chance early on. Keep in mind that this video, or the demo, the playthrough, was recorded at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. I think on a Sunday or something like that. So, yeah, finishing around 1 o'clock in the morning. I guess I just focus better at night, strangely enough. But yeah, this is a really cautious approach. Pretty good dodging there. Could have run in, but decided not to. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. When you decide to focus on, let's say, survivability more than anything else, and like you just take time completely out of the equation, there's a pressure that's gone. It's completely eliminated. Like you're not trying to push through, and that's where all the risk comes in, where you take the damage where you normally wouldn't, and your run ends. Of course, you think most speedrun maps are, short in length, relatively speaking, less than half an hour, sometimes 5-10 minutes. And, you die, you could redo it, it's no problem. And then you get better at the speedruns. With Cosmo, I don't know how many attempts I tried in this one, but it's definitely in the hundreds. And I say hundreds. So it's not like you can go full out every time. Or at least without, increasing your risk level. But you will see still kind of a mix. There are some places where you can be aggressive and the risk is quite low. I'll point those out as well as we go through them. But yeah, I mean, look at this arena. You got megaspheres everywhere, right? You got meat shields in the imps, so definitely this section could have been taken a lot more aggressive. Just backed into a mega there. Alright, so switch, Archies, and phase 2. Nice penetration there. And not an ounce of damage. Alright, Archie's all gone. This fight, of course, is pretty straightforward. Though I must say that I have gotten killed by this mastermind before. Going in a little bit early. Mastermind's not in fighting. I hit him with just a tiny tracer and then guns me down. And of course, not looking at my health actually makes that happen. I think I'm grabbing megas left, right, and center here. I should be more conscientious of that. It's good practice not to pick up cells or megas if you don't need them. That goes without saying, but I think there's another mega. But we got all those tomato corpses in the way. Bit hard to see. Alright, switch number 2. And I also pick up these bullets. They do come in handy in the snake oftentimes. I don't think I use it too much, but again, a bit hesitant with cybers on stairs. Okay, on to the Revenant Snake. The one that's beatable, of course. Not the Pluck one. Okay, so this particular fight, I go passive for the start anyways. Focusing on the pinkies and basically shooting 10 BFG balls in total here at the Manx. And refill. And then get the heck out, of course. And again, just cycle back. Pinkies and Manx. I think I did get hit by a stray rocket here. Look at that, 3%. 3%. Give me that mega. Alright, so really important to, well, not take damage like that, but get deep where the Revenants are, let the Manx in fight. That'll also slow their progress as well. Once the Revenants file in, it is pretty risky business. Okay, being a little bit more conscientious about dodging here. That little corner is a bit misleading. Those fireballs often clip, so should have fired a couple of BFG shots there. It's being a little bit more cautious. Hiding with my nose to the corner. Don't know what happened there. Yeah, see, the cybers are occupied now. This is where you want to get in your shots. But again, being very, very cautious. There are cybers in the background too, so you gotta be careful. Okay, some good shots there. Go back in. The thing is, if you back up all the way to, let's say, this area here, the cybers will file in towards you, so it's good to keep them where they are. Okay, Mega, of course. Too many Megs. At this point, they've served their usefulness, and they must go. Probably could have killed them a lot sooner. Okay, a little chain gun action there, too. Thought that was a good BFG shot on the 2 Manx. Apparently not. This was scary as hell. Holy crap. It's a good thing the Cyber was targeting the Mank. Alright. Four Cyber games. No biggie here. They're all lined up quite nicely. Yeah, my first runs I'd really be hesitant to get anywhere close to the Cybers, and then, you know, I just rely on the BFG balls, but it's not enough damage. Eventually you run out of ammo, and they just encroach until you're trapped, so gotta be aggressive at that point. Okay, pre-firing quite a few shots. Alright, and the fight is won. That is the snake. Okay, don't leave those Manx alive, because those are fast crushers. What I mean fast, they move fast. Slow crushers would have killed them by now. So we just expedite, BFG them a few times. Here we play the waiting game. Not sure if you save any time at this point running back to the platform and then killing the imps from the other side. I doubt it. It's probably about the same time. We're talking seconds, probably. Alright, 3795 is the magic number. We are out of there. And yes, the carpet is stained. Alright, this is the one fight I'm actually quite comfortable with. I am quite aggressive here, I would say. Essentially, circle strafing while spamming. Yeah, pushing through the Spectres, you're not really at risk with the Revenant rockets, because you will get surrounded as you push through. So the rocket trail will be impact on the Spectres themselves. Yeah, here I kind of lay off just because they're very hard to see. But I should have probably just kept on shooting. To be honest, there's plenty of cells here as well. It is a monster blocking line def, so you are free from the bites. Of course, still can be shot by the arachnos. Alright, having a problem picking up that last cell pack. Sometimes I lure the arachno out, but I don't think it makes a difference. Just push through it. Archies are not scary. 200 Archies is scary. Map 3? Can we say map 3? So this fight you have two options. There is a cyber demon on the stairs in the distance. You can get him to start the infighting. I found it is extremely random, so I prefer to initiate, kind of on your own terms here. Do one loop to the right and then kind of come back here and then do a final circle. I'm very weary of the rockets. Yeah, pick up for sure those megaspheres on the way. You're going to need them. The tricky part here is that the cybers kind of block all the ammo in the center. You do have them on the sides here, of course, for a bit. I wouldn't say this is a super time critical fight, but if you wait too long, what ends up happening is the Cacos file out, and then the cyber demons start infighting, and rockets go flying everywhere. So you don't want to take too much time here. Kill the cybers as quickly as you can. And avoid getting in between the ones in front and the ones in the back, if at all possible. pesky cyber there. Drop the elevation just to make sure. And now it's pretty much clean up. You can already see the Cacos filing in. Yep. So this particular fight is, I think, is won or lost in the first circle. If you make that first circle, you're fine. If you get unlucky, you get blocked. It has happened in some runs. I've had like 2 or 3 cybers just walk right in front of the left side over there. Yeah. Couldn't get around and but I'd say this is a pretty consistent strategy. Okay, here, just to expedite the Cacos filing out, again, break the line of sight and let them slowly approach you. So this is where you want to create the cloud. Makes cleanup a lot faster. So it's funny, I kind of, you can obviously tell I'm switching back and forth between high risk and low risk, or fast time, slow time. Okay, what's happening here? I think at this point there was a mosquito in the room, so I was having some difficulty. Almost could have, you know, taken a couple of high damage rolls and die here because of a stupid mosquito. But hey, that's summer for you. But yeah, as I was saying, kind of, you have those fights where the risk is so extremely low. That's where you could really push, right? And you know, when you have cleanups of these Cacos, for example, it's a good example, or a good test case to do. More aggressive push. Although what I'm doing here, because I'm letting the Cacos out, I'm preventing them from getting resurrected on the inside here, because there will be plenty of Archies here. This is probably a strategy, again, it's kind of a safe one. BFGing those chain gunners, they often fall forwards into the pit, and their chain guns will block Lost Souls that will be kind of heading towards you. Again, a more aggressive strategy would be shoot a BFG or 2 and, you know, get the fight started. There's something like 4 Megaspheres here, so. And avoiding getting zapped whatsoever. So again, peek a shoot here. At least until the tracers can't really reach anything. Yeah, and you do often get Archviles boomed as well into the damaging floor. Kind of annoying, because they could basically resurrect everything on their line. At this point, I'm just rocketing. You'll see a couple of examples of Lost Souls that are getting blocked by the chain gun. So it's just another safety measure when you're rocketing, so you don't face rocket. You can see the couple of chain guns down there. If you do decide to employ a strategy like this, you can see how they get stopped again there. Although this would not rank as top 10, I don't think, as far as difficulty is concerned. I'm really rocket happy here. I think it was probably safe to proceed with the BFG. Okay, first we reload. I think I do pre-fire here for the arch files on the lift. And that went as perfect as can be. It's just habit that I grab the cells from that far end. Usually because I take damage. In this case I didn't. I probably could have taken cells a little bit closer. Okay, this fight I called the Revenant Peekaboo. If you hit those stairs at just the right angle, you can prevent them from waking up. Rocket out these Pinkies and Hell Knights, and then get focus unimpeded with the Revenants. And here we go. Dodging. For the most part, I give myself I think I have B+ on this fight. Although I should have stuck with the BFG. You'll see I switched to the rocket launcher very shortly. There's only a few Revenants left, but I'm really maximizing the damage here. Yeah, I don't know really why I switched to the rocket launcher. I think my thought process there was kind of a mistake. I thought, well, hey, I'll have full cells. I don't have to go back. But then I won't have full rockets. So I think regardless, probably did it at one attempt where I had full health, full rockets, full cells. Yeah. So I did not have to go back. Or I was close enough to it. Maybe I was like around 540, 560 or something like that. But in this particular case, we'll need to go back. Wasted the megas for sure. I have to say, this fight is really, really forgiving. If you do, you know, let's say you wake up all the Revenants, you can just spam the BFG and survive. You could just, you know, circle strafe and all that stuff. There's definitely enough cells. Alright, so this is one of the few places you can actually run back. Good for one more box of rockets. Probably could have just went forward, but what we're talking about is seconds here, but they add up, right? Again, not too concerned with time. So wherever possible, I'm SR50ing here, or SL50. Okay, we go right into the next fight. Nice and aggressive, no hesitation. So this is my new strategy that has a really high success rate. It might look chaotic, but here we're pushing through Pain Elementals and Spectres. Everything else in fights, which is fantastic. Totally missed the Cyber Demon there. Extremely scary. But he's done. So I'll clean up some Hell Knights. Really important to get that lift down in case we need it. But I probably will grab it even heading out. Just as a precaution. Pick up cells, mega, and out. Yeah, in this case I could have just run out. The herding worked extremely well. Alright, we open up the new arena. Again, more infighting. You got the Spectres as the meat shields there. There are some Cyber Demons, of course. And now we also, by doing that, penetrating into the Spectres, you herd the Cacos away from that back wall that we could just run past. Alright, back into this area and clean up. It's an extremely reliable strategy. I would say it's like a 95% success rate or higher. Chances of dying are mostly due to cyber rockets, especially when you go outside here, which I could have probably stayed a little bit longer in there, but... So here I'm just watching, and then watching right into a rocket. Good thing I had full health. This is the only dangerous part now. Okay, pretty much in the clear. Trying to get rid of all of the Pain Elementals and their lost souls. And not accidentally pick up the invulnerability. Because that serves an extremely important purpose, as we'll see. If you can, if you can't, by all means pick it up. If you can keep it, it will greatly help in the next fight. Okay, so again, a little bit slower, switching to the rocket launcher. Quite a bit safe though. I mean, you could see like the Cacos are completely filling out that arch. Even if there's cyber rockets coming your way, it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely they're going to get past the Cacos, but I am doing a little tiny dodges, if you notice, as I'm shooting, just as a precaution. You never want to stand still. It really goes without saying for Doom. I guess with the exception of the Manx, the enemies always fire at where you are, not where you're going to be. Hit scan doesn't count, they're just like crazy. They shoot wherever the hell they want. Sometimes at each other. So yeah. Talking more projectiles. You like how I saved that, eh? Yeah. Okay, so again, pretty cautious at this point. I had the tendency, once a fight is won, I slow down. It actually should be the opposite. I should be speeding up here. But there is, you know, there's kind of a good reason for that, and sometimes it's just getting your nerves in check. It's a pretty safe way to rocket those revs. Because if I guess if you're at, you know, a high intensity for 2 hours, well, or less, that is a lot of adrenaline that's pumped through your veins. Not quite ready for that. I'm happy with the yo-yo effect. Get the heart rate up, you know, like a quick sprint, and get the heart rate down. Again, a mini Okuplock alcove. Alright, next fight. If I had to do this one over again, I would have just come in firing with the BFG. Maybe after the Mastermind's taken out. I do like to get the Mastermind to infight. This was risky business. Nice. There's going to be quite a few face rockets in this playthrough, so enjoy them. Feel free to enjoy them at my expense. Some are self-inflicted, some are, you know, otherwise. Yeah, at this point I should be taking out the Cyber Demons. It's not much of an advantage keeping them alive here. I know in some runs I got the Cyber Demons to infight with the Barons up there, and we could actually tandem rocket them. So that actually went by really quick. But again, unreliable as far as strategies go. Alright, 2 quick BFG shots here. That seems to do it. Halts the Revenant's progress. And then you could just wall BFG here. You do need to wait until you hear the crash, if you're going to do it this way. Because you will take a rocket, like there. Okay, we wake up the Mastermind, reload. Mastermind always gets hit there. So there is some infighting, but it's a pretty slow process, so we expedite the demise of all the monsters. And one more rev. Yeah, really unlucky with the BFG shots there. I thought it was aimed just fine, but yeah. Sometimes I'm able to take them out with one shot. Not this time. Okay, up the lift we got a few Hell Knights, one more Archie. Pretty much another filler fight here. Very tiny one. And you can tell how tired I am because I'm pretty much taking every shot, every projectile here. I don't care, there's a Mega behind me. I think I grab it. Although you might want to keep it for a later time. And then continuation of the filler here. You've got Cybers sandwiched in between Barons and Hell Knights and so on. Yeah, so one thing about these kind of intermediate fights, and I consider this like an intermediate fight, it gives you time, like a lot of time, to anticipate the next major fight, which in this particular case is the Blue Key fight. And at least for me, what that does is it makes me more anxious. I'd rather go from one fight to the next than, you know, have time to think about it. And I don't know if that was No Reason's intention or not, but that seems to be... I think I just picked up a Mega there by accident. That seems to be the effect on me anyways, so... It's like I just want to get into that pit. Grab the blue key. No reason says no. No, I think you need to think about it a little bit. Are you sure your strategy is sound? Okay, so I can actually talk about the blue key fight and my thinking there. Obviously, we've kept the invulnerability sphere there for a reason. That's for that particular fight. It allows you to take out at least 2 cyber demons, maybe even 3. I've been able to take out 3 in particular. So you got 4 cyber demons at each corner. They're really the wild card because you're preoccupied fighting with everything. And then you get a random rocket and your run's over. So the importance of keeping that invulnerability sphere cannot be stressed. I did mention you could take it if you need it. Obviously, it's your run, but if at all possible, keep it. Then we essentially just buy our time. Plenty of megaspheres down there. There's 1 at each corner. I think there's 2 or 3 in the center area, as well as some cell ammo packs as well. Which, if you have an opportunity, grab those first. So essentially just a waiting game. Well, I wouldn't say waiting game. You're basically just horseshoeing from 2 sides. Once you run out of ammo and megaspheres, you can also switch over to the 3rd side. And you'll see I actually do that in this particular case. Stay away from the chain gunners early on. And yeah, just keep on BFGing. I don't think I actually stopped. Also a good idea, you can see these cell packs on the side here. It's good to keep them for the next arenas. This way we don't have to run all the way back. $100 rockets plus some BFG shots is more than enough here. So just make sure you got 100 rockets and 600 cells before you fight these imps. You will die otherwise. Okay, quick reload, and usually there's a bunch of stragglers here. Do 1 more loop. There we go. And yes, the carpet is stained now. I'm not cleaning it. Not at all. I think it's the same carpet in the snake as well, right? Yeah, looks that way. Okay, so filler fights are over. Anticipation is high. Trying not to take a single point of damage. We are ready. Okay, 1 more rocket box. Nice. Okay, SR50 all the way. SRSL, you know what I mean. Trying to be as quick as possible. Accidentally pick up the Mega there. Okay, so shooting that first BFG shot is actually quite important. Sometimes you could actually 2-shot the Cyber that way. And here I got, wow, 2 full shots on the Cyber Demon. Not even sure if he survived or not. Grab a cell pack from the middle, that definitely helps. I believe it's 600 cells. Alright, and then we are just basically going back and forth between the Hell Knights and the Mags. A little bit stuck there. You have to pretty much think that there's a ton of rockets heading your way at all times. So you cannot get stuck for more than a split second here. That must have hit a bunch of Hell Knights right there. Oh, there, that was a real bad move. Holy. Got a bit lucky there. Again, I had full cells. I don't know why I picked that up. Maybe panic a little bit here. Okay, now we can go to the other side. Have access to another Megasphere, which is good. Which I grabbed. So at this point, I should have stayed in the damaging sludge. I should not have gone up. But hey, we're ready to leave. And just by the skin of our teeth, we are out. Kind of. I have been blocked here before, and I ran out of cells, and I had, obviously, no ability to use rockets, right? Yeah, that can happen. So try to keep some cells going up if you're going to escape the teleport. Yeah, at this point, I don't go into the next arena. Again, I'm not focused on the time here, but that would certainly be a little bit quicker. This is mostly to calm my nerves a little bit, because my hands were pretty much shaking at this point. Maybe 160 heart rate, I don't know. I have a pretty low resting heart rate, so it'd be interesting to know what I got to. Maybe I'll get a heart monitor one day. Can actually record that as well. Okay, so just clean up. Here we're going into the next arena. So we could have made a beeline to this location here, because there will be more Hell Knights teleporting in. It's just the nature of the location of the teleporters in the pit. You'll see here you got 1 or 2 filing in already. Yeah, tons of Hell Knights still alive. So there may actually be a slight advantage to not coming here too early, because Hell Knights and Revenants are bound to be infighting below as well. So when we go back into the pit, there will be fewer Revenants. So it really depends. You want fast time, come into this arena as quickly as you can. You want a safer cleanup of the blue key fight. Just don't. And just take out some of those Hell Knights where we were. Yep. Okay. Should be careful with using rockets in this section. Of course, you don't know when you're you don't know when you're going to get another HK teleporting in, right? So calls for caution. Okay, so here we push a little forward. Get more of the enemies that are asleep because of line of sight. Okay, just don't know why I stopped firing there. I do have a tendency sometimes to misjudge the ability to kind of, the last enemy I could actually go through. So that does happen. Okay, so I think here I'm loading up once again, all health, all cells. We're gonna go finish up the pit. It's probably unnecessary to take the cells from here, but why not? Okay, and actually I don't go to the blue pit right away. Cleaning up here. Which is kind of nice. They are herded to one side, so probably should have kept going if I was going to do that. Okay, now it's cleanup time. Yep, we're going down. Got to get behind that pillar. I think I picked up that mega a bit too early. But you can see the infighting worked very, very well with the Hell Knights when we left. Not too many remnants at all. Okay, so this fight is complete. I hear the pitter-patter of imps, so I'm just checking as well if there's one down here. Sometimes there's a lone survivor. Apparently not. Yeah, again, the rocket's quite slow. A lot of enemies here. I think I have to head all the way back. So yeah, you can see here the importance of grabbing cells from far away first. It's a long journey back into this little room here. So that would definitely be something different I would do. So time-consuming when the imps are not clustered. Alright, so again, clean up here. The next fight coming up is more of a question of how many cells you can preserve. And that is because I guess maybe 2 fights after that. Anyways, you'll see what I'm talking about as we go through it right now. Just clear up these barons. Fighting question is comprised of a bunch of pinkies, 2 cybers in alcoves that later get crushed, as well as revenants on 2 sides of the room. Yeah, so by now it's probably about midnight where I'm playing, so getting quite tired. There's another hour to go. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll fire into the Revenants and basically maybe 3 or 4 shots and try to keep the cells. Okay, that was actually quite a bit. You don't want to get blocked by those pinkies and then get hit by cyber rockets, so I was a little bit more liberal this time. Really important not to pick up those cells. When you pre-fire coming into the room, don't hug that wall because you will pick up those cells, and then that's really a waste, right? It's a waste of 60 cells. So okay, and then I basically just weave here until these Revenants are done. Okay, kind of gauging which side I want to open first. I don't want to be on the supercharged side, so as not to waste it. And then we're just hiding for a quick second as the Crusher begins, and we can engage the Revenants now. Again, rockets only. Okay, just a brief pause to let the Crushers run a second time. Not sure if the Cybers can actually hit you in these particular Crushers. Well, that one's facing the opposite direction, so I think we're okay. Now, there is a Cyber in the distance over there. And I think I use it to infight here, as far as I remember. So one advantage to that strategy is you preserve way more rockets, and you can rocket that Cyber Demon. I'm not sure how this Revenant targeted me, being aggroed by the Cyber. That was weird. But the rest of them, you could see they're kind of like walking in and out. So yeah, they'll shoot their rockets, no problem, damaging the Cyber quite a bit. And then you don't have to spend, I don't know, 10, 15 rockets on these guys. You can hit the Cyber with that. That Cyber over there is really, really useless. It's not... Okay, I'm getting a phone call, and my phone says it's probably fraud, so I'm just going to silence that. Yeah, so you want to carry in as many rockets as possible into the next fight. You want 100 rockets, no question about it, without grabbing any on the lower level. So just coaxing this little Revenant here. Other way, other way. Other way, please. Bit time consuming, but quite fun. In you go. Accept your fate. Just block him, block him, block him. He'll go right back down. And there we go. So I think I try to gauge how many rockets I have left. Quite a bit. So what is that, like 40? Could probably take out the Cyber Demon, no problem. I think I go to 75 and then reassess or something like that. Yeah, I think I could load and unload like 25 more rockets or something like that. Oh, even more. So it had more than enough. Oh yeah. But he took a lot of damage from the Revenants. And there you go. Look, I mean, look how many rocket packs there are left. Okay, last time I made the mistake of not going full health, full armor, so I didn't do the mistake at this point. Quick sneeze. Excuse me. So yeah, full rockets. Refire a few, maybe 4 or 5. And as Coin likes to say, as Coin coined, deep rocketing. Right into the center mass. So the further you are, the more control you have as to where the rocket's actually going. Auto aim will not kind of focusing on the closest HK. So you don't really want that. You'll quickly get overwhelmed. So in many cases you'll see I'm really trying to avoid hitting the center HK if I can avoid it. Okay, and we want to wait here as long as possible before running out. There we go. Get the BFG ready in case we need it. Okay, and here we're pretty safe. I mean, there's just the one cyber in front of us, which we can keep in front of us. Imagine if you had that cyber on the platform, how much more tricky it is, this part of it. There's a cyber on the Manx side, which is quite interesting. No idea how he got there. Okay, a nice dodge. And yeah, there we go. We run through. I would have changed slightly. If I'm going to run through, I would have my BFG ready, just in case. Okay, and then more of the same thing. Just deep rocketing right into the center mass. Alright. You could use the chain gun to clean up a few of them, but like I said, we got plenty of rockets right here. Cyber's infighting nicely. So we can preserve even more. Cyber down there as well, jeez. So just really important to know where you are. Watch the projectiles. You don't need to panic because there's a teleport line right there. So if the Hell Knights get too close to you, they'll teleport out before they come and maul you. So use that to your advantage. Of course, the fewer that teleport out, the better. You want to fight them up here if you can. Okay, only a couple of Hell Knights here. Chain gun not that efficient in terms of, you know, quick kill, but more than efficient in targeting. The rockets would just go past these guys. And I didn't want to waste, I don't know, 10, 20 rockets on 2 guys. Okay. And yeah, not even a single Hell Knight survived over there. Really good. We must have got some infighting as well with the Manx across the way. And 65 rockets going to be more than enough to take care of these guys. So again, same idea, center of mass. So with Manx fireballs at a distance, they're pretty easy to dodge. You're talking about like a single movement the first time they fire, stand still, and then a secondary movement. Because they're their second fire is aiming at where you're gonna go, so you don't move. that first bit of momentum is gonna miss you. You don't want to overdo it. Yeah, so that's really good. 22 rockets left over. Incredible. Just the fight went extremely well. Doesn't always happen that way. The two cybers sometimes teleport really, really early, and they can cause a lot of trouble and block you off. Okay, so again, a few rockets there, and then we'll fight the rest of them across the bridge. No sense taking more damage than we need to. Got 2 supercharges. I think I left the blue armor above, still available. And there's a blue armor before the next fight, so we're good. And this is where keeping the cells is important. So 440 will help with the chain gunners that is going to be at the next fight. Not to mention the cyber zigzag, but those are 2 different things. Yeah, so if you don't have cells to take care of the chain gunners, you're going to take an extreme amount of damage. So I think the ammo situation with the Revenants here was actually pretty tight, believe it or not. I could have actually grabbed some rockets on the upper platform across the way, across the chasm, before engaging in this fight, but it worked out. I think I like exactly the number of rockets, maybe 1 or 2 to spare. Yeah, there you go, 4 to spare. But there are rockets if you head up to the left over there. Okay, grab a few there. And these Archies are, again, not really a concern. Seems they love your rockets. They just move right in, right into where they're going. So I love that mechanic. Okay, 200 health and 200 armor coming up. 440 cells is really, really good. Anything above 400 is pretty good. Okay, so you want pre-fire. I actually shot 4 times, I think. I mean, it could have been better. We're still going to get 200 health, but the armor could have been better. I think it's okay. Okay, Cyber Zigzag, the scariest fight in my opinion. So I do wake up the Barons early, and that's to draw them towards you. I think that made the difference here. Don't pick up that Mega. Don't pick up that Mega. That's all I'm thinking to myself. Just don't. Okay, that went well. Here's a really, really scary. Can't see. Scrambling a little bit. Holy. Okay. So firing more BFG shots than I probably should have, but that's what we do when we panic a bit. Okay, settling down. Settling down quite a bit. Let's take our time here. There's only 2. I'm kind of trying to gauge how many cells I have left, to be honest, but nice double kill. Okay, so 180 was not great left over, but you could see how the amount of cells you bring into the fight helps you for when things go wrong. Yeah. I think I try to grab a couple of shots here, but I get a rock in the face. Yeah, nice. So, I mean, that's when you want to shoot the BFG, obviously, when you got one cyber blocking the other. And at this point, I mean, it's 2 shots left. I don't want to use all my cells. So rockets it is. Hoping I got a reasonable amount of damage on both of them. You can see there's another Megasphere there as well, so we will have 200-200 going into the next fight as well. Alright, chain gunning the cybers, why not? Save a few rockets there. I'm not sure what I decide to do, if I keep the cells or if I take out some of the Manx. Yeah, I keep the cells. Okay, smart idea. So this fight is just horseshoe, essentially. Start off with that first loop. Try to make your way... Okay, I actually did fire here. Wow, okay. Okay, pretty much the Revenants, they stay busy with the Cyber Demons. The scariest part here are the Manx on the sides. See, I'm already down to 77% health. Yeah, a little cautious there, good. Okay, the only other health you got here are medkits. I'm doing a little bit of a hook there just to make sure I don't get hit by a rocket. And I think at this point the fight is pretty much won. So one or two Manx left on the side I want to get rid of. Okay, I think we also have a Mega Armor in the middle. Alright, going for the Cybers. One's already dead, which is nice. Getting zapped, not good. But two Cybers down. So yeah, if you're super brave, by all means, kill the Archies first and get the Crushers on the Cybers going. If not, just rocket them. It's a bit risky. Maybe if they were infighting at the time, you could do it, but you're asking for so much trouble. You're aggravating the Archies. You could see how I got zapped from that interesting angle. They could see in between these two pillars here. So yeah, you know, it's just best to, or I should say it's safest to rocket the Cybers. Okay, about time. Also got plenty of rockets here, and a Mega Armor, although we're gonna get a, you know, Megasphere anyways. Probably doesn't matter. I probably should have grabbed the Mega Armor here. That's a bit of an oversight. But maybe it's a confidence thing, who knows? Meaning I'm confident in my abilities not to get zapped. Sure. I'm trying to mitigate risk here, though, so should grab that blue armor. Right, there's the Mega Armor, so... Or the Mega Sphere, I should say. So we got... our next fight, I believe, is the... Is it the Pinky Bridge? No, it's not the Pinky Bridge. It's a smaller kind of bridge section. It has its own series of troubles. You got arachnos on 4 platforms that are poaching you. You also have a bunch of imps, basically 2 sides with barons that are protecting 2 switches that give you access to a bunch of cells. And a crap load of cacos. So yeah, it's a kind of a smaller arena. You can easily be overwhelmed by the cacos, and there's pits all around you. So falling there, you do got teleporters, but actually the teleporters bring you back to the center, and if the cacos are in the center, you're done. So you really gotta time when you use that teleporter if you're gonna use it. Anyways, here we go. Trying not to grab that megasphere, makes sense. Position myself so I can get a few extra rockets in. And fire. There we go. Okay, so slow movements here, slow inching movements. Rocket right away. You can use the teleporter, but this helps you get extra shots in. So. Getting a bit stuck there. Time for that megasphere. So here I spend a little bit more time BFGing the cacos just to thin their numbers a little bit, rather than going up immediately. I think I even go across here. Just make sure you have enough cells going up here. And again, pre-fire. Okay, in and out. Almost fell off the platform. And here I do take the teleport because I figured there weren't so many cacos. Really having trouble though with one of them, holy crap. Okay, so I shouldn't stay here, and I don't. Just run out. And I think now most of the danger is done. Rocketing cacos. So I'm just going between the 2 sections here. You can do little small circles here that'll avoid the arachno's fire. You will get some infighting as well. But honestly, I actually dislike this this place where I'm staying for that reason right there. But there's not too many cacos left, so it's okay. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much the fight. You clean up the arachnos on all 4 platforms. There's 2 switches that you have access to, one that I just missed right there, obviously. And that'll bring the exit. So for good time, obviously you'd want to get those switches started as soon as possible. So you're not waiting. You will get the cyber though, so again, added risk. Okay, so here you can actually safely rocket and just duck behind those pillars there for protection. No problem. Okay, I think I'm looking for imps here, but also need that switch before the cyber comes out and the exit is revealed. So that definitely cost me some time. Okay, so here what typically happens, you get a lot of boomed imps, so it's good to listen for the clicky clacks just in case. Because again, we do have access to this place, but we soon won't, so. Okay, and the next fight, the dreaded Pinky Bridge. So a crap load of Pinkies, Hell Knights on one side, Imps on the other, and Manx at the end. It's really not much to that fight except, use the ammo that you have there, heal when you can, and just make sure that you're bringing in some cells to deal with the Archviles, because there are 600 cells on the left side where the imps will be, which you should not use. You're going to need that for the next door. Okay, so enjoy this fight. I'm going to take a little break, and we'll be back. Okay, how are we doing? See, most of the Pinkies have been cleared out here. Just grab myself a drink while I'm watching. Oh, the one run when I just ran past and got killed by the Manx. Wow, that one was just a mental lapse. So I don't do that here. BFG is ready. Goodbye. 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 Probably didn't need that last one, but just wanted to make sure. Okay, so here I contemplate Hell Knights or no. And my decision is Hell Knights. I've just had so many problems keeping them alive. And many a run ended here as well. I just don't have that maneuver down when you're basically in the alcoves on the opposite side. You gotta, you know, dodge the green, back up, and at the same time you're dealing with a crap load of pinkies and imps that are getting resurrected, and Archvile zapping you. So the safest bet is to take out pretty much everything here. The ammo also allows for it. So I guess it's kind of an option, right? But it does add a significant time penalty. But I'll take it. For risk aversion, I will definitely take it. Yeah, so you can see on the opposite side you have 600 worth of health and armor. You have 600 cells. As I mentioned, the next fight is going to be basically a Revenant door fight. Lots and lots of Revenants. You want 600 cells going into the next fight. So whatever you do, do not... I mean, you can pick them up, but just don't use them. So what do I have here? Like 360 plus I think there's another cell pack somewhere there. If I'm not mistaken. It's what, 9 shots? Yeah, so a bit tedious, of course, but... I should have really put a stopwatch on this fight, actually. This is certainly one of the ones that brought me over 2 hours. Man, I would say this probably added 10 minutes. Is my guess. Oh, maybe not that long. I don't know. I'm watching it, I'm not really looking at the time. I think certainly if I practice this fight a little bit more, it's one of the fights that it's easy. It's not a difficult one, obviously, especially when you take care of the Hell Knights here. But if I had practiced, let's say, save it here and practice this a few times going into the Archie fight immediately, I could have improved my dodging skills. And that's really how you beat this fight in a good time. But I mean, we threw that out the window a long time ago, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're at 360. So that's nine shots. I thought pre-firing a few rockets here might help as well, so I end up doing that. And then hopefully wake up the enemies such that you can start using the BFG on the Archviles immediately. So I'm being very careful not to grab the cells. Okay, Archies are awake. Switched over. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's all she wrote. Yeah, it's rockets. Yeah, so imagine all this is happening and you got the green goo coming at you. So it just adds another element of complexity, but I'm sure it could be practiced enough times that you're gonna take minimal damage. Yeah, so at this point, it's kind of one. You have plenty of rockets in each of those alcoves. You can always duck into one if you're targeted. The pinkies are the biggest problem here. They're so meaty, and you know they get loose. I don't know what it is. Like they don't like to. They don't pack. They're always to one side or the other, and so it's really hard to stop them in their tracks. The imps, on the other hand, they're with the Archviles. They take the damage, and you can get the Archies at the same time. Yeah, I dislike the pinkies here. They're horrible. I mean, it's fantastic from a mapper's point of view, but they are a huge impediment. Like, how many rockets have we spent already? 200? Okay, now we pick them up. We're ready for the Revenant door. Just checking for lost imps. Okay, so here, get to the center of the door. Pre-fire, and then get to the pillar to the left. And just peekaboo again. As much as you can. Really good early on here. That Cyber is, oh man, he's scary. Same idea, just keep on going back. You got a Mega in the middle here. Really nice. Always got to remember with the skeletons here, they don't necessarily shoot at you right away. So they'll run towards you, so you have time to move. Sometimes we shoot too early and get them hit with a tracer, and then they start shooting their rockets at us, right? So sometimes being patient and letting them get close is actually a better way to deal with them. especially in something so tight like that one. Okay, the Manx, I think I switch over to the rockets here, because last time I died during the live stream in the next fight. Didn't want that to happen again, so I'm being overly conservative with the cells. Okay, there's still the tricky part with the Cyber in that alcove. He's just in such an awkward place. You could still, you know, eat a rocket or two and die. I think I might actually have eaten a rocket here, so we'll see. Just waiting for the 1, 2, 3 here. Yeah, okay. Actually, I didn't. Okay. So always go on 3 when you're in a situation like that. Yeah, so here I got overwhelmed by a bunch of Hell Knights and Barons. Not going to happen this time. Pre-fire again to the sides. You got Chain Gunners. Okay, and that's pretty much it. You have enough cells, not an issue. If you have no cells, good luck. That's all I gotta say. Because you can see the cell packs are actually in the rooms, right? Yeah. You'd have to push through if you had no cells. Just the 400 that are in this area. So yeah, all of these considerations when you look at the Too Young to Die map set that I completed, if you haven't checked it out, I'll put a link right here. You can check it out. The ammo situation never comes into mind. For UV, it's a completely different beast. Okay, here you get a couple of Cybers. Again, not a big deal. You could keep them alive if you wanted to. It would help with the infighting, but too risky from my point of view. I think even on Calgon, well, pretty much everybody, like everyone who's got the record or completed UVMAX on this takes them out. I don't think anyone keeps them alive. So if you're brave, go for it. But more trouble than it's worth. This particular fight's not too bad. You don't get too many Revenants, I would say. You get 2 Megaspheres, so plenty of cells. And the sheer number of imps here, they're going to infight with the Reds, so just watch out for the rocket trails. Okay, and yeah, essentially 1. Make it more interesting, you can hit that switch, or you could just keep on rocketing. Those imps are trapped. I play it safe. Until you can grab the cells, of course. Okay, ready for the next major fight, the pit. What can I say about the pit? Cheese it. For high survivability, cheese it, for sure. You got 100 rockets. You can cause a lot of damage. Okay, first little part, you got a bunch of masterminds. I find if you loop around here over to the left, it seems to herd them in the right way towards the center, and then they infight with each other and pretty much take each other out, so... Okay, and while that's going on, we go to start the cheese process. Okay, so right here in front of us we got imps and specters. The specters are, I think, the biggest problem in this map, or in this particular arena, because they halt your strategy, they halt your progress, and they drain your cells like crazy. Slowing you down enough so that the revenants catch up and then overwhelm you. So by taking out a good portion, and where are we here? So start around 16,000. I'm gonna mark that down here, 16,000 roughly. I think we'll probably end up, I don't know, maybe a couple of hundred or so. Okay, masterminds were encroaching, so take them out and continue the cheese. Which is a long and slow process, I do give you that. Even I'm being extremely deliberate with my rocket delivery here. So as the rocket makes impact, if you ever put it on, and you could actually try this, put on your auto map, do IDDT twice to see the enemies revealed, and you'll see how the rocket's explosion takes out the immediate circle of enemies. And there's a split second where there's a hole there. So if you shoot two rockets right after each other, you're not getting maximized damage. Like I said, extremely slow process here. Don't do this in a speed run, obviously, but if you're trying to accomplish this in one single segment, let the rocket impact, shoot the next one. Should probably even make a little video on that, just demonstrating it. But like I said, you guys can try that yourselves. Just do it on the auto map, shoot your rockets, and see how long you have to actually wait before sending the next one. Okay, I send a few towards the imps on the other side as well. Every little bit helps. I'm actually going a little quicker here, believe it or not, so I'm not waiting till the impact. Yeah. So we started around, what was it, 16,000, and we're at 16,600. So 600 additional enemies killed before the fight even starts. Yeah, 600 or so. Okay, now we begin. I make a beeline to the revenants on the right side here, give a couple of BFG shots, and then I cycle back, each opening sending some BFG balls that way. The imps as well. And then pushing straight through here. Good place to refill. And you can see how few specters are left alive. Okay, we'll go actually up the stairs and reload here, because these cells will be inaccessible by the Hell Knights. And then heading towards the Manx. Gotta be really careful here. Do got a bunch of Negas. This was actually a bit tight here. Like, I didn't realize the cybers would have come out that far. Usually they go out the opposite direction, but they did not move. Okay, so we're swinging back around. I should have pre-fired a lot more here, just to be safe, but it worked out. Okay, and I consider this fight won, believe it or not. Got plenty of room, and you're just essentially doing horseshoes until you can surface strafe. Cybers will die. Okay, as an alternative, you can stay here and rock it a bit. This will actually cause the Hell Knights to come down the stairs and engage them a little bit, so I don't really count on it as a strategy to speed up the Hell Knight cleanup. You're going to be stuck with hundreds of them, so best to focus on the Revenants at this point. I'm being super cautious here, actually taking really, really round, I should say wide circles. I'm just extremely nervous here, although like I said, this fight has been won. Extremely cautious. Most likely because it's been an hour and 37 minutes, and did I get that right? An hour and 37 minutes? That was my math. 60, 50, 100. An hour and 47 minutes. And I didn't want to redo this ever again. Although I might try it again. Okay, the Revenant numbers are still such that I want to keep moving around them. But this is actually the area, basically keep them on the carpet. You want to keep them on the carpet. In that middle area. Right in this area. That's where the Hell Knights will not come down. And you just, you have all your cells all around you, so it's a nice way to clean them up. Still kind of overflowing on two sides. When they could fit in one basically narrow passage or narrow aisle, I will just basically horseshoe around them. Expedite their murder death kill. They are infighting a little bit with the Hell Knights, so that's also kind of a good reason for keeping it in the middle there. Yeah, I think I had my timing off with this fight, actually, because normally I can horseshoe around them quicker. You'll see what I mean by horseshoeing. It's right here. Yeah. So basically just horseshoeing around them. Taking quick cover, reloading, and heading back. I mean, their numbers have to dwindle quite a bit, but definitely a quicker way to take care of them than going around in circles. Ow. Yeah, pick it up. Pick it up. I think here I must have been contemplating whether to target the Hell Knights or not. My recommendation would be not to. You're going to run out of cells very quickly. So you want to target these Archviles. And that'll free up a bunch of cells as well, so... Archviles it is. Just be wary, there are some Spectres still roaming around, potentially. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Okay, so you wanna hit the BFG ball on the wall, not directly at the Archviles, which takes a lot of time. Just consider how the tracers work. It's basically line of sight. And the Archies will kind of, you know, they'll line up for you. They're gonna just keep on filling the gap close to you. So just a nice little angle. Getting maximized damage here. Again, a little late on the BFG there. I guess if you wanted to, you could shoot down that hallway. But, I don't know. It's probably more of a waste, be my guess. And they're almost all gone. Yeah, one left. Bunch of Spectres, I think. Maybe 3 or 4 Spectres up here. And now, the most tedious cleanup of all time. Even more so than the Pinky Bridge, taking care of those Hell Knights. Okay, so let's talk about... Oh, we got a Revenant showing up here. which is impossible to target. Okay, there he goes. So, yeah, the next fight we can see just beyond the Hell Knights up there is a type of crossfire arena. Very, very tiny, mind you. And... do I want to say RNG heavy? Maybe, maybe not. I don't. The RNG aspect is basically how active the cybers are. You got 4 cybers, 2 on each side, and you got a pillar in the middle, which is basically your hiding spot. So you'll want to basically take out the 2 cybers that are guarding the cells, because you want that access, and you also don't want them alive. Leaving the 2 cybers on the opposite end, they will infight with whatever is teleporting in on that side. But every once in a while, those monsters like to walk over slowly to your side. And you're rocketing, so... rocketing, monsters close. Yeah, recipe for face rocketing and ending your run. So it's one of those things you'll need to kind of... Well, I think you'll see it as... I think I show it well in this one. You do want to keep on moving in a way. Duck behind the pillar when you need to, but also ensure that the cybers are taking care of the monsters on their side, while you focus on the monsters on your side. So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship, I don't know. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, sort of thing. until they serve their usefulness, and then of course you BFG them to oblivion. But yeah. Yeah, extremely heavy count of Hell Knights here. Not even sure what the purpose is, because you're going to leave with 100 rockets and 600 cells. It's not necessarily an ammo drain. It's just a time consumer. Okay. That, of course, is hopefully all the enemies. Okay, so we got more cells on the stairs, of course. One more Hell Knight. And the Crossfire Arena. There you go. So cells are on the opposite side, you can see there. That's where we want to go. Backing up to the pillar every time, just in case those cyber rockets come your way. So I make that little maneuver, basically, just kind of inching to one side. When I kind of feel or hear that there's a monster beside me. Kind of doing that. It also makes the cyber shoot, and hopefully infight. Keep the monsters on their side. But this is where you need your head on a swivel. And dodging skills help as well. I think I tried to grab the Mega but failed. There we go. Okay, getting hit there by Kako. It's also not a bad strategy, you know, let yourself get hit a couple times, then you know there's monsters beside you, but every time you venture out, you expose yourself to cyber rockets, so this is the most dangerous part of the fight with the Manx. You see the imp got in my face there. Right there too. This is like a recipe for face rocket disaster, so I'm just making sure no other Manx come forward. At this point, it's good to listen to the teleporter. You could have slow teleporters on some monsters coming in, but I think that was probably it. That was extremely close. Wouldn't have killed me, but yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I did leave a Mega there, so that's okay. You see how cautious I'm being here. No, not even a hint of an attempt to one-shot or two-shot. Like, no, not at this point. It's already 2 hours. Okay, this section here you get a bunch of Archies, but they are stuck in their little room there, so nothing to worry about there. So we're almost there. That was the last major fight, of course. Now we got Hell Knights. You want to pre-fire. And try not to take any of those cells until you need to. But also I don't want to take any damage at all, because the next fight, as you will see, is extremely scary. You gotta love how No Reason built this. So we just finished taking care of some archviles that are stuck in their room. Well, the next door has a bunch of archviles that are not stuck in their room. So, and you'll see, if you haven't already watched the demo, this demo basically without commentary, you'll see how close I came. So I'm really happy I had close to 200 health, 200 armor. That was really the focus here. I'm more than happy to use as many cells as I need, as long as I'm running in with full health and ammo, full health and armor, I should say. But we'll certainly have enough cells. Yeah, what can I say here? Block the door, don't let them out, BFG pre-fire, and hope to God. So that was extremely unlucky. And again, I'm getting hit with these impossible angles here. Yeah. Right near the end of the map. Had to make it interesting. And here I'm just basically ecstatic because I know the map is won. Nothing to do here. No danger. And we are done. Alright, that was my live commentary. Hope you enjoyed that. We will see you in part 2.